Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan, fourth place Milan, upcoming Coppa Italia, Milan, and possibly Champions League next year. And well, we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Stevie P, Vinny T, always here faithfully every week. How was your week, Steve?
Fantastic.
To new beginnings. There we go. I booked my tickets to AEW. Double or nothing. And you want to come? No? Bret Hart's going. I'm gonna go meet Bret Hart. No. Okay. So guys, we have a special show again today. We have the Presidente came up with a Twitter hashtag for the questions on the Twitter machine, but this week, Steve, Presidente was a bit between a rock and a hard place, right? And he was debating about presidential points, this and that. Now, as it is a tradition here on the Milan Weekly Podcast, and some people I heard on the Twitter machine wrote that they thought Presidente was a mythical figure. Yes.
He kind of is.
He kind of is a mythical figure. So, Steve, please take us through this week how Presidente came with these presidential points.
Yeah. So Presidente was doing some shopping, as we saw in the Milan Club Montreal WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
Took a picture of bread. I don't know what he's doing at Maxi buying bread. No goddamn Italian buys bread at Maxi.
Yeah, but it was 10 cents cheap.
Can't get a corona or a pagnotta at Maxi, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we gave him a pass for that. Presidente goes back, way back in the archives for this one.
In the archives?
Yeah, in the archives, because he starts getting glimpses of his dad, who back in Upayes, the city where he comes from, was a milk farmer.
Now he's reminiscing.
And he's going through this fantastic tumbleweed rolling across the scene, hay going back and forth, a little bit of na pecora here, burkuka.
Remember
Milking. As he goes through this fantastic memory, the presidential points, they start to come, but not.
He was in solidarity with the people in Cagliari because
he felt for them. He felt for them
because of the history of the milk farm.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going through the photo album,
and he hears this song, and it's this beautiful melody in the background. And he all these presidential points start coming, but not whole. They start coming 1.5, 2.5, 3.25.
So they weren't full presidential points.
No. They were like liters of milk. 1 liter, 2
and
liter,
then
percentages
the first lady. There was something in the air tonight. The stars are bright, Marcello. And then he came out of it, right?
And he came out of it, and the presidential points were there. All 3.25 of them, my friends, fully lactated presidential points for tonight.
Makes complete sense to me. The milk farming, he brought him back in the memory, so he gave us 3 presidential points this week.
3.25.
And thank you for that, Steve. And again, I'm possibly speaking for all our listeners. We have no problem. We don't doubt you for 1 second.
You shouldn't.
Did he return that microphone yet?
Nope.
No, huh? He's waiting on
another special project in the works, guys.
But it is a 30-day return
I
policy.
too, in solidarity with the farmers, have eshtekin.
How do you correlate both?
Every farmer has eshtekin.
Every farmer has a toothpick. All right, we're gonna go with that. And with that, you wanna do the presidential points right away.
Oh yeah, right away.
So,
well, wait, hold on. We gotta talk about the game.
Let's talk, guys. This is gonna be an hour podcast for sure, and I know you guys
sit
enjoy
back in the office, in your car. Let's get ready to talk. Milan.
We were there at the bar. We had a couple of guys over there. We had Anthony. We had Tommy. We had Mezzi. We had who am I forgetting? Hey, you know who you are. We wanted a big win.
Yeah.
And we were discussing it. They're saying we We'll take the ugly one, but we would need a 3-4 nothing win. And alas, what happens?
Alas.
We get a convincing win. Now, Steve, before we start talking about the game, and it was a good reaction, but if it wasn't for Gigio, those couple of shots there, first of all, that missed net that I don't even know, not even Jesus Bambino would have missed that shot from over there. And then it was a great save from Donnarumma in the second half that would have put them 2-1. And we could always say, the guy would have played different. Oh, 100%. Yeah. But
and the post.
Gigio saved this once again, stood tall. But a great performance, according to me. We'll talk about Çalhanoğlu, obviously, in the coming presidential points. And
surprise.
And the questions, but altogether, Steve, satisfied?
Satisfied, yes. Very satisfied just because of the situation again. Cannot repeat it many more times than I have it already, or either on social media or again here on the podcast. Everybody did their job in terms of the teams ahead of us won. Besides Inter, even Lazio, not too convincing. Atalanta, not too convincing. But they got the job done.
They got the job done.
So the pressure was on.
And Steve, in the past, these kind of games, and we're talking about that, I go, how crazy is it that we're playing Cagliari, and we're like at home, and we're like, we need to win this one, and it just seemed like kind of a like Twilight Zone where Milan were playing Cagliari, and in the past years we wouldn't come up with these wins or come up with some ties. The important thing is that we did win because we would have been in a bad position even if we came out with a tie on that one there. But did you like the
Fusillade?
Yeah, that was a goal, but Paqueta's goal was something beautiful, very nice. And did you see that my cousin said, what a goal by Paqueta, and Presidente had to come out on the group and said, hey, there are strict rules, no talking during the game.
You got to give it to him. Let's give credit where credit is due to Presidente. Those are the rules of the chat.
But he's the first one to have broken those rules.
Yeah, he killed it this week.
He's like Jesus.
I'll talk about it later, but he killed it this week.
He's like Jesus. Do as I say, not as I do. I get it. He is mythical. So let's go straight into because we're obviously going to be touching on the game throughout our podcast. So his first point to us is the burden of Higuaín.
Oh, we're still talking about Higuaín. Oh my God!
You see how he comes in. He Since Higuaín's departure, Milan are undefeated with 2 wins and 2 draws. Higuaín took up a lot of space, pun intended. Made a joke over there. With his reputation as one of the best number 9s in the world, his high salary, and given his age and experience, it felt like he was much bigger, not fitting in well with this young Milan team. Question: do you feel Milan is starting to play more like a team as it is, or as it no longer Higuaín dependent? Were we ever Higuaín dependent?
I don't think we were ever Higuaín dependent, to be very honest with you. Yes, he was a Scudetto winning, goal scoring record player who ended up on Milan because Juve made the decision that they were going to move forward with CR7, and they could not have balanced the books with both. That's the only reason he ended up at Milan. And there was the show of, yes, okay, I want to play at Milan, but that's just traditional, and to be very honest with you, it's just sports regurgitation.
Yeah. It looks like maybe he thought Milan was Higuaín dependent. We've been playing better? Yes. It just seems that we've been playing more as a team. I like the solidarity towards Hakan. You guys saw it there when it was 3-0. They definitely wanted him to score. Bakayoko celebrating the win on Instagram, tweeting, tagging him in the picture. You can see, but it just feels more like a team. Yes. Now, guys, we're not in that dressing room. I don't know what's going on with Higuaín. If he felt all the pressure onto him, and look,
the pressure was on. The pressure was on for him. Big salary, goal scoring. The goals weren't coming. The pressure was on.
In the end,
the actual team too made a decision with the different types of comments. If you go back and forth, that unfortunately this 30-year-old, 30 plus, was not something that was part of the plan or part of the project because of high salary or lack of goals and And let's face it, guys, attitude. His attitude stunk on the field. We've said it. We said it multiple times. I enjoy watching Higuain play. I think he's a fantastic striker. He has to be surrounded by top talent as well.
Mm-hmm.
He needs service, not one who could really create on his own all the time, which he has created, scored 36 goals, 37 goals. He's going to create some on his own, but he was the focal point of the offense. With a team like Naples, a team like Juve, that worked. With a team like Milan, less talented, unfortunately, that wasn't the formula.
You know what I would like to maybe throw back at Presidente, because I know it can actually crunch these numbers. I would like to know if Chelsea keeps Higuain and pay for it. How do those numbers crunch out to us? So we're trying to talk about it so basically how much did Caldara cost us? But then you got to take into consideration we paid 40 million for Bonucci, then we sent them back for Caldara and Higuain, but we paid basically 9 million for a half a year loan. How, President, crunch those numbers for us. We'd like to know. And obviously, he's not even going to do research. He probably has them mentally.
But we also saw Sarri get demolished by Man City.
Yeah, that was.
And I'm not saying Sarri because there's a lot of pressure on him too.
But that game was over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It could have finished 7-0 to it was over, and you just saw it from over there. It's like at that point.
But again, doesn't Chelsea kind of remind you like Milan? It's a project. Sarri is a project. If you took on this coach, you have to stay with the project. He plays a certain brand of football. He's not a perfect manager, but he plays a certain brand of football that the players enjoy because it's offensive, ball possession. It's Sarri ball for a reason, right?
But will they keep him to see?
Will he last? I'm not sure. But doesn't Chelsea remind you a lot of Milan? So basically, Higuain went to another Milan playing in the English Premier League because now he's fifth. He got destroyed. He has probably he has 2 goals.
2 goals in 3 games.
Yeah.
Point number 2. The carrot and the stick, he calls this one. Hakan is a hot topic on social media in our Milan club chat in reference to, you see the way he was trying to pronounce it like you would have said, Çalhanoğlu. Gattuso said, I don't understand why fans are jeering him. I don't throw my players under the bus. Hakan knows he can do much better. It's obvious Gattuso is using the positive message approach with Hakan, who needs more the carrot than the stick. Question, do you think Gattuso is using the right approach to get Hakan playing his best, or is it time for a non-intervention with the Malocchio?
Hakan needs a belt. Never mind a carrot or a stick, he needs a belt.
Across the...
I agree. For the coach, there's no reason to throw him under the bus. He needs it. But he has to find a way to get Hakan the message without making him a public figure in the media of negativity. We see it, pundits see it, journalists see it. There's something wrong here. Again,
his will is there.
The will is there.
Yeah.
It's just mental. It's a mental breakdown. It's like in certain times of the game, he forgets that he's playing soccer professionally for a club like Milan. There was a counter against Cagliari where the ball went to him and he played and he miscontrolled the ball. That happens in a garage league. It cannot happen in the professional ranks. Tell me you take a shot and you miss the net. I understand they're going for goal. I don't want you to just hit the goaler. I want you to go for a goal. If you're going to miss the net, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're missing simple controls or you're making the wrong pass, you're making the wrong decision, there's something more there on the field that's not happening for you mentally where you need to sit down.
But he did at least, we'll say, I'm not saying he played great. I'm saying that he played a lot better than he has in the last 3-4 games. Can you at least give him that much?
But it's not enough.
No,
it's not enough.
You know what?
And that's the argument in the chat. I get it that he's playing better. We don't have this luxury to wait for Hakan to get his game legs or his game brain back. We need to find a solution.
Okay, so you know what? It corresponds to one of the questions here from Zahab Hazim. Thoughts on playing Laxalt on the wing ahead of Hakan? He's got pace, skills, and gets back to defend. Why not? I think we've seen a lot more bad than good from Laxalt. I get that he tracks back. but would you put a Laxalt that hasn't started many games, let's say against Atalanta? What do you think about it? It's a good question. At this point, it's like,
Well, it's obvious that he's going to go with Hakan again against Atalanta. There's no way he's going to make the change now.
But if Borini would start, we have not lost a
But you know
single
what?
game.
I have to give you something.
Give it away.
I shit on Borini.
Yes, you did.
I shit on Borini because I don't think that he's being used properly.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say he's being used properly, he's always the negative part of a change. It was Paquetá out.
Yeah.
The fans don't want to see Paquetá off the field. They don't necessarily want to see Borini on the field either. But there's a time and a place to insert Borini.
And he's just like, you know, he's.
And I bet you, if those changes were Hakan for Borini, there would be less shit put on Borini, because that's not a negative change. You're giving a chance to someone who is obviously much more talented than Borini, but their work rate is the same. And because Hakan has lost all soccer knowledge, it's kind of almost like you're trading 4 quarters for $1.
That is very true, but how's this, right? To again, on the Çalhanoğlu conversation, Guy Cohen at the FIFA 91011. What do you think about the whole Hakan situation? Personally, he's a very good playmaker and makes incredible passes, just too slow for a winger. Would work well as a center midfielder or a central attacking midfielder in a 4-2-3-1, which we're talking about the 4-2-3-1. What do you think? At this point, if Gattuso's not going to bench him, yeah, just change. But don't change against Atalanta, go change against Empoli, go change against the Spal or something. But
it's up to Gattuso, guys. And that's what we were talking about in the chat. You know, everybody's saying, well, what do you want him to do? He's got to do something. He's the manager. I'm not saying he's doing a bad job. I'm saying this player is struggling. You gave him a chance, which I agree and disagree at the same time, that you give him a chance, because I don't think he has that luxury. But now it's time that he learns a lesson. He did it to Kalinic, where, it wasn't going well in practice. Didn't want to he couldn't find space, wasn't practicing to that level. You sit. Now it's Hakan. I don't know how he practices. I'll be very honest with you, I'm not interested in watching Milanello practices. He could be practicing like a superstar. But when he gets on the pitch, unfortunately it's not there. So it's time for him to sit. Samu Castillejo.
Yeah.
Let's give him a try. You want to give Laxalt a try? Give Laxalt a try.
the thing is, we have some options, right? So maybe not preferential positions, but we do have some options. And at this point, we're not saying write the bench for the rest of the season, because
no, not at all.
We need to have some sort of value if our plans are to sell them one day at the end of the year. But anyways, it's not like we make splashes on the market when the market is closed. Aaron Ramsey is coming the most.
Vinny, let's put everything out there for all our Milan fans. This game finished 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, my mood, I'll speak for myself, personally changed. Where I was very happy.
Yeah, it was a good
Anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. We could have let it go. I would have been disappointed, but we played a good game. We're beating Cagliari 3-0. It's 3-1. We would have lost the clean sheet. I would have been pissed off. I wouldn't have took it back. But I'll be very honest with you. When Hakan missed that volley from the penalty spot, where he hit the goalie dead on, where obviously it was playing in his brain, I need to get this ball on net.
And
he got it on net.
He didn't want to pressure straight onto the.
And you saw everything out of this kid just go out. He lost everything. Yeah. We could have won 10-0. For him, it's like we lost the game. Mentally, he's not there.
Yeah. No, he's
And guys, if that game is 1-1, 0-0, 2-1 Cagliari, people are going mental on Twitter. Mental.
You know what? Why don't we just ask Tommy what he thinks?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to do.
It's time. Tommy time.
Tommy time. It's been a while. Let's see the volume over here.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, Mr. Tommy. How are you to this fine evening?
Very good, you guys. How are you?
We're good. We're good. You know what? We needed to call you right now, Tommy, because we're on the Çalhanoğlu discussion. I'm like, what would Tommy do? So we need to hear your point of view. Çalhanoğlu, what do we got to do with him?
Get rid of him. He's no good. This guy è un fantasma. È un fantasma. He comes on. I don't know what Gattuso sees in him, but they should get rid of him. Get rid of him now. Now they can make the money.
Yeah, the
Because the guy, you think next year they're going to trade him, next season, you think they could trade him for over 25 million? Yeah, if a team is stupid, they'll give him. They'll give him that money, but the guy is not worth that money.
So who do you play in this position?
But you have Mauri, that is young, that you never even put him on the field.
Mauri as a winger?
How could you say that a player is not fit to play in that position if you never play him? That's the problem I have with Gattuso. Gattuso doesn't use all his players.
That's true.
Mauri he probably used them once or twice. That's about it. Conte never makes him play, makes him come in 30 minutes from the end. Now I want to see what Cardano when he comes back. Is he gonna make him play or not? I really wonder. Me, what I want to see a whole the defense, a whole Italian defense. That's what I want to see. And they have it. The guy has the possibility of putting on the field the next Italian Nazionale. All those the defense, because the defense of the Nazionale Italiana in about 2-3 years is going to be all the Milan players.
That's true, but there've been so many injuries. I don't have a problem with him taking his time, but in the end, Tommy Çalhanoğlu, if you got to take him out on that winger, you would put Mauri as a winger, or would you go with a Laxalt or Castillejo?
I would do a turnover. At the end, you're going to find out a good replay because I think Laxalt is better than Çalhanoğlu.
Laxalt is better than
I would
Çalhanoğlu?
actually go between him and Mauri.
Okay, so you would
Castillejo, he hasn't showed me much. And maybe he doesn't have the chance. Maybe he's still not adapt to the style of playing in Italy. But he hasn't shown me much. I would probably go with Laxalt more or with Mauri. One of the two.
So guys,
you have to give the youngsters a chance. If you don't give them a chance, you know what I mean?
So you've heard from Tommy, guys. He's saying give the kids a chance, and Çalhanoğlu has to ride the bench. And before we let you go, Tommy, what's on Saturday afternoon predictions? What are we doing?
We're winning 2-1.
We're winning 2-1, guys. Thank you very much, Tommy. We'll catch you next week.
No, I don't want to say another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Bonucci è un uomo di merda. E la Juventus, the only way they're winning this year, and even in the Champions League, if they got this far, is because of the ref help. And I just want to make one thing sure, that when they're going to get to Atletico Madrid, mark my words, they're going to get booted out of the Champions League. These guys are not Champions League material, not now and not 50 years ago.
He leaves us on a bang. Thank you very much, Tommy. Always as entertaining. We'll see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
Ciao,
ragazzi.
Ciao.
Tommy time.
You know what? I think I bought the speaker to get this clear sound just for Tommy and for our YouTube listeners from over there. Taking over to point number 3. Pressure test. After seeing its main rivals all win before the match versus Cagliari, Milan was solid and performed well under pressure to keep the 4th place spot. Another big test awaits on Saturday versus red hot Atalanta, who have 4 wins and a tie in their last 5 games. How confident are you about Saturday? Is Milan on the right track? Are they mentally tough? And this even goes to a Twitter question. Let me see here. Somebody had asked us about AC Milan Guru at T Pepperoni 3. I like that. What are your predictions for the game against Atalanta, and is Calabria the most underrated player at Milan? Well, let's go with the predictions first. Tommy says 2-1. Steve?
1-1.
when I think a tie, and if you guys remember, we were talking before the Cagliari game. We said if we could come up with 7 points out of these possible 9, tying it at Atalanta, I don't think it will be a failure. But it's against all these small teams. Yeah, I can see a tie. Obviously, I wish. I'm going with the tie or a very, very ugly win, like like 2 deflections kind of thing in the 97th
No
minute. Is Calabria the most underrated player at Milan?
I think that's spot on. We don't give him,
He had a bad stretch at one point. He wasn't playing,
but we kind of talk to him. We talk about him mostly in the bad. We don't talk about him a lot in the good, and that's a little bit on us. But there's a lot of pressure on that right hand side. He has someone who, to be very honest, was purchased by the old guard of administration and at Milan to be that right back.
Yeah, exactly. And if it wasn't for the injuries of Conti,
we probably would have never seen Calabria.
So those are the things that you just got to start experimenting with the formations. But at this point, right now, it seems that you found something that seems to be working. So don't change anything. Speaking, coaching, Dr. Talal Alali. So I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's asking us, do you think that Gattuso should stay for another season if he achieves the 4th place with AC Milan, which we discussed in the past? Yes, 100%. I don't see, even if Conte is available, if you take this team to Champions League football, I think it will be a mistake to break that chemistry. So yes, definitely.
It seems the players are behind him. There's a lot of positivity coming out from the players towards him and the way he deals with things straight up, which we're not surprised. On the Calcio Land podcast, which I listen to regularly, David Amoyal really says something that really makes sense. There's some coaches that take you from C to B, but you're going to need a coach at a certain time that's going to take you from B to A. I don't think that Gattuso will be able to take Milan from B to A, but I'm pretty sure, and he's doing a good job of taking us from C to B.
It's very well put. But
I'm not taking credit for that. That's Mr. Amoyal.
Then again,
and Alex.
Milan has
and Alex. he's a Chelsea fan. He's going mental. I can't. Alex, I love you, brother. I watch your videos all the time, and I feel your pain, man. And I'm laughing, but I know you're laughing with me. But
we've left at Milan for the last 7 years.
We've left at Milan for the last 7 years. So welcome to the club, my friend.
To Curva Stud.
Ooh, meow.
And he's asking, what is Milan's style of play?
Hope for the best. Hope for the best. That
was
a fantastic question because they don't even know what their style of play is.
It's not possession. It's not. Hope for the best type of football is Milan's style of play. But I will say one thing. The last couple of games, even at 2-0, we didn't take our foot off the pedal. Where it was because guys 2-0 at 20 minutes in, it's they score a goal and they're back into the game, but it just seems like
it's that third goal rule.
That exactly. But honestly, I wish we had an answer for you at Curva Stud, but no, we don't. We have no idea.
But there was a nice tweet on social media. Again, I should start writing these things down because I'd like to give credit to the people who actually tweeted out and I follow. But they were analyzing the way we start a game, right? So when we start a game, it's a lot of possession, very slow, a lot of negative passes. They want to get into the rhythm of the game. I think that now, and this is what the tweet said, and I agree with them 100%, with someone as eager and hungry for goal as Piontek, I think that we should shift a gear at the beginning of the game.
Definitely.
Shift a gear at the beginning of the game to make we're here to play.
With Cagliari, we did that shift, but I would like to see a shift like that if it was against Roma, or let's see that shift against Atalanta. Yeah. Let's take it to them, right? The Milan guys as well had asked us about Çalhanoğlu, which we've spoken about. Ricardo Cornetta, do you have any realistic plans to come over to Milan and watch a game at the San Siro this season or next?
Rica. Due bambini. A casa.
We asked Presidente. President says we have no money, but he's driving around in a lavish 1978 Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got not the yacht. He's got the canoe over there on the lake. I don't know. But Ricardo, never say never.
Never say never.
Because the plan would be, Ricardo's in Dublin, is he not? Is he president over there? No.
Yeah.
So even if he went, we go to Dublin. We go see those guys. From there, we take a drink. We board it onto the plane. We go to Milan. We go back to Dublin, and we go back to Montreal. That's it. That's all. But definitely, we've been talking about it, and soon, guys, because
It's a project.
I've never watched them live. Even when they came here in Montreal, I brought myself. I gotta watch them live
I watched them live.
at the San Siro, and unfortunately, I got screwed in 2011. But
3 times.
okay, thanks. Our beloved Jan from the Milan Weekly, from the Milan Club Montreal. What do you attribute the solid play of our backline? Is it Gigio playing like a god, or is it Romagnoli finally being the leader at the back we were promised when Galliani bought him? Or could we actually have a decent coach? I think it's got to be a bit more of chemistry, not swapping center backs like we were doing last year. Romagnoli, growing in experience.
Yeah.
I think with even, we can't really say like when Musacchio was on at the beginning of the season, it was good. Then Zapata somehow, like he was doing the job. Abate comes on. I think even Gigio, you got to give him credit too, is that he's
been that one consistent, right? So I agree with you, the chemistry, but the one consistent is him.
And Ricardo Rodriguez.
Are on the left-hand side, who, again, as well as Calabria, flies under the radar.
But you see, like Donnarumma's, like you could see him a lot more vocal on the pitch, which I have no problem with that. And chapeau to Gigio, 150 presences. And he's going to be same birthday as me on the 25th. He's going to be 20. I'm turning 23.
39.
30, yeah. What else do we have over here? What else? The doctor asking us another question.
Here, we're passing the Medicare card over here. Or what?
Oh, no, actually, it's the same question. Sorry. Chris Torano. Does Gattuso limit his players with his more defensive approach in certain matches, or does players, especially his wingers and Hakan and Suso, actually limit the type of football Reno truly wants to play?
It's a very good question, Chris.
Does Gattuso limit his players with his more defensive approach in certain matches, or do his players, especially his wingers and Hakan and Suso, actually limit the type of football Reno wants to play?
It's obvious in the big games they fall into this defensive shell where they want to absorb pressure. Yes, he limits them. And Hakan and Suso don't do themselves any favors. They usually touch the ball more than they're supposed to. But in terms of not touching the ball, in terms of being involved in the play. Suso and Hakan have, I'm not going to say a problem, but they have this small defect. Sometimes it's one touch too many.
Yeah.
Especially for Suso. You beat
someone,
you gotta put in a cross. You gotta decide what you want to do. You want to put in a cross. You want to take a shot. Go ahead.
And you saw it in a couple of those breakaways where, yes, it was 2-0. I'm not talking about when it was 3-0. That guys, I don't care what anybody. Oh, you should have passed. It's 3-0. He wants to go for a goal. That's fine. But there was a.
I disagree, but whatever.
What I'm trying to get at is more on that counter attack, where he did exactly what you're saying, those perfect moves, gets away from the defenders, got all kinds of options, and then tries to do another move, and that's where he loses the ball from over there. So,
I disagree.
Okay.
Because your number 9 is paid to score goals. Suso is not our number 9. Suso is an assist man. Assist or goal, I tweeted it out, would have got the machine going for him. He's been... You know what? Frank from Serie A Sit Down, fantastic tweet. We're so hard on Hakan, but we give Suso a pass all the time. And he's right.
And that goes into Samir Mohammed's question, what do you do? He mentions Hakan, but with Suso's bad form, you don't see it as much as Hakan, because sometimes he'll come up with those assists or he'll come up with those big plays, but no, he's got a kind of a point where Suso, yes, kind of gets a pass where Hakan does it, because Hakan's been longer.
Suso's best friend on the team right now is Hakan. If Hakan's not on this field, we're talking about Suso. Frank's 100% right.
Yeah, that's true.
Frank's 100% right. If Hakan's not on this field, we're talking about Suso. Because that ball should have been played to Cutrone 4-0. That's it. 4-0.
Yeah, there was that, but I get what I'm not saying he was right for doing it. I just for me, there's less than 5 minutes. I think there's less than 5 minutes left. You got a free shot. He wants to get that confidence back. I don't have if it was only a 1-0 game, yeah, I would have thrown probably something on the TV. But it's just I think he's looking at those counterattacks where he's doing everything perfect, and when it's time to pass, he tries to do that other move where it's not necessary. You already beat those guys.
And he becomes invisible in the game. That's what frustrates me the most. Is that for periods of the game, you will not see Suso involved in the play. Either it's the other team trying to take him off, trying to eliminate him, or he fades in and out of the game, depending the type of game. A physical game, they always say Suso to the English Premier League. I don't think that's the right move for him.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. We are saying, Suso gets a pass, whatever. We've seen the team without Suso, and we've seen the team without Çalhanoğlu. When Suso is not on, we suffer. We don't have that creativity. So, yes, I get he might get some passes, but for me, he's a lot more crucial to the what was that game when he was suspended? Like we couldn't come up with anything, and yes, he does have his bad stretches, but I think he brings in every time he has those genius moments. It eliminates it. And Çalhanoğlu, unfortunately, even if he would have scored against Gali, I don't think it would have erased the fact.
No. Not for me.
And do you want to score at 4-0 Çalhanoğlu, or you don't want to score a game winner? At this point, if you want us to forget,
at this point he has to score.
You need to score a screamer.
At this point, he needs an assist. He needs something. He needs some kind of positivity. And you know what? I was gonna make it my brioche of the week, but I'm not. So I'll just tell you right now. He seemed pretty happy partying for his birthday. Let me tell you that much, huh? That's
his birthday.
I don't care. It's his birthday. You want to be? You know what? You've been sucking.
You want him to take pictures, not smiling.
No, I want you to not take pictures at all. Because the last thing
that's too much. The guy's his birthday.
The last thing the fans want to see is you lay a big fat egg for 7 months where people pay to come and see you play, and then you go out for your birthday and you're all happy. You're not happy. You can't be happy. You've been sucking the bag.
Maybe he was wasted.
Even worse.
I say let the kid live a little. Stevie says no, he's old school. Soccer swap had asked us to his predictions for against Atalanta, which
love the soccer swap.
Milanology. Similar question we had before. What do you think if we start with Hakan and Kessi's spot versus Atalanta and Castillejo as left wing? Our counter-attack must be fast and well organized. Hold on a second. Hold on. So, you would go with Bayakokoko, Çalhanoğlu. On top of Çalhanoğlu, we get Castillejo, yeah? And who's playing the other? We have Abilia, so you're getting rid of Kessi to. No, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but it's a crazy idea. Would you do that? Would you bring
to rest? Yeah, maybe, but he doesn't deserve to take Kessi's spot.
No.
If we're shitting on Hakan, it's because he's not playing well. People who shit on Kessi, guys, this guy has been playing non-stop, and against Cagliari. Everybody should apologize to Frank Kessi.
Chiedete scusa.
Everybody.
Kessi is a workhorse.
Guys. He was the Frank Kessi that we bought and that we needed. He was disrupting play. He was winning challenges. He was dangerous on the counter.
So what do you do? So somebody offers you 40-50 and you get to pay for Bakayoko. What do you do?
You got to keep Frank, man. You got to keep Frank. This is a project. He's 20-something years old, guys.
I say we got to keep Frank Kessi. And if you go, Billy is not going to be guys with Milan for the next 5 years. I know your Bakayokos and your Kessis are, at first look lumberjacks, but guys, Bakayoko is good defensively. Kessi, he's known to score goals, right? He can score those 5 to 6, 7 goals a season. I would say keep him. I don't think Frank the Tank. It's
very hard for me to.
I think the problem is that when everybody was off their game last year, when he was scoring every couple of games and this and that, then now you're expecting the guy to score you those 7-8 goals. He's not Fabio Polini, guys. Let's get serious. And it was Marco Pazzia that was with us at the bar. You see, it comes to me because sometimes there's some stuff in my mind. What else do we have over here? Ian at Ian_Viva is asking us that he's going to the Milan game for the first time in May, first time in Europe without budget restrictions. Where do you recommend my father and I sit as we watch Milan potentially qualify for Champions League? Do you know any chance? We know all the chance but some.
We're gonna throw that question back out to all the Milan Weekly Podcast
Guys,
listeners,
help Ian
especially our friends from Dublin.
Milan Club Dublin should know these.
They're
different
gonna be able to at least give you some information on where to sit. We've never been there, so I'm not gonna
If you contact Mike from Milan Club Dublin, he's gonna give you a bingo sheet, Milan Weekly Pod, for you to play while you're watching the game. It's very popular here at the games. For Ian, reach out to Milan Club Dublin. I don't know where you're from. Let me see over here. Does it tell me? He is from. No, it doesn't tell me. All right. And what else? Adrian, he's there.
Grande Adriano.
Buonasera, guys.
Beautiful.
Seeing Milan's current form and their play so far in the Ritorno, on a scale from 1 to 10, how confident are you guys on Milan finishing top 4 as the middle of the pack race is really tight?
This is like junior president to this guy.
Also, does Inter stay in the Champions League places? Do we see them finishing top 4?
I believe, guys. I'll believe till the end.
But would you mortgage the house on them finishing
realistically, no, I would not mortgage the house. But I think, and I've said it before, there's a shift happening. Like Inter won, guys. They won, but they didn't convince.
No,
they didn't convince.
But in the end, guys, what's gonna be in the record books? 3 points, and they got the job done. And it's just like when Lazio played Juve a couple of weeks ago. They were
all over them.
Horrible Juve, and I'm like, you go up 1-0 and you can't manage to beat Juve when they're at their worst form in Serie A. Atalanta did it during the Coppa Italia, but it's just, it's really gonna. I don't think the big games between us in the race. I think it's gonna be the small teams, Steve.
Yeah,
those are the small teams that Roma have been dropping points to. Lazio has been dropping points. The thing is that now we need to carefully watch all of this. Sampdoria. But if you think about it, you know what? Let's go directly. I'm gonna count how many points exactly.
Right, Steve? Back to Adriano, and just letting you know, I'm not a scale kind of guy there. I don't like going on the scale because usually it's bigger than 10. That's for sure. When I get on that scale, but do I believe? Yes.
We have to.
Realistically, it's gonna be a fight, guys. It's gonna be a fight, and you're gonna be at the edge of your seat, game in, game out, Sunday, Saturday, Monday, whenever the hell they play. And it also depends what we want to do in Coppa Italia. We're gonna be playing some soccer, guys. It's gonna be fun all the way to the end.
Think about it, right? I know it's far fetched, but from 10th spot, guys, to 10th spot Fiorentina, 32 points. To 3rd spot is 43. Guys, that's 11 points of difference between 3rd spot and 10th spot. You have Lazio, Roma, and Atalanta, all tied at 38. We're at 39. Torino just right there, that won, they won this week, 34 points. Sampdoria, 33. So, you don't want to, Sampdoria, Torino. No, never mind Sampdoria, Torino, because if Atalanta, Milan tie, Roma, Lazio, they lose one, these guys can win 2 games, they're back into this race. But no, we definitely have to believe, and Inter will definitely stay. I don't see how Inter, unless they go through I wish they go through a whole debacle. So what, you think they're gonna go?
I think, and I'm confident to say that they will not stay in 3rd.
Okay.
I'm not saying that they will be out of the 4 spots.
Yeah, but if so,
last year they qualified at the last game of the season against Lazio. Miracle schedule. Whoever scheduled that is fantastic. So last year they could have fell out. I think this year they will fall out. We gotta be careful about Rome. Vincenzo Gattuso for sure. He's gonna be listening to half this podcast, and as soon as I say Rome, he's gonna get all excited and call me. But we gotta look for Rome as well. They have their own problems too, Rome. They're not as convincing as we thought either. They had a 3-0 win this week.
Yeah.
They got but they gotta get Zeko going a little bit more.
Even the thing like Inter, we're talking about all that, is that if you get these guys to start clicking, like Nangolan, so had an okay game compared to what he's been doing shits, and they paid what 30 million plus Zaniolo for this guy. If Perisic gets his Maladipa, guys, if these guys start connecting, this is it's a pretty strong team on paper. But do we want to see them lose? Obviously. Nima, we love you even though you're a snake. But
Call Giacomo. If you could hear us with your one good ear.
Now he's got 1 ear.
He's got ear problem now.
So he had not, but is he back to 2 eyes?
Yeah, he played soccer yesterday.
Good 2 eyes, Francis. You're a snake. We still love you, but now hope your ear feels better from over there. Your indigestion of the week, Steve, and thank you very much for the interaction, everybody. And you guys that did it on the Milan Weekly, the Milan Montreal, whatchamacallit, group, guys. I woke up this morning. There was 73 messages. Use the hashtag next time. Can I speak for both of us? For Cagliari milk people that had to block the team from not going.
You talk about that. I don't want to.
Yeah, I just found it's like I'm not saying they were wrong to protest for something that they believe in, right? Everybody's got the right to do that, but I don't see how blocking a Serie A team from leaving to go play a game have anything to do with the price of milk. Or I'm assuming
knocked over the milk. We made the players knock over the milk.
That was real.
Yeah, that was. People spray paint. No, in Cagliari they knock over the milk.
So yeah, that was my little, because as I was reading the story, I'm like, where else than in Italy would these things happen, right? And we're sorry, Marcello, if it brought back some memories for him from the
Presidente's indigestion of the week is justfully so. Sturaro sold to Genoa from Juve for 16.5 million, payable in 4 installments. How does a player who barely played increase in value from 6 million to 16.5 after 4 seasons, playing less than 30%? It's unbelievable, guys. That's a good indigestion.
Like
I give you to.
It's like Padawin. No, how much did they sell Padawin for?
I don't know. It seems like Juve sells their scrap for everything, but this is obviously some kind of financial fair play loophole that Juve is doing with Genoa. They're going to owe them a serious solid. Let me tell you that much.
Or maybe is it because, you wanted them 4 installments, give us 3 times the amount of money?
This is a financial fair play loophole that Juve is using to pump up their books to say, you know what, we're in the green.
Yeah, it's 16.
They're gonna owe Genoa something. It cannot be.
Yeah, definitely. So 16. Crunch those numbers for us, President.
He did. He crunched them. I just said it now. My brioche of the week, and it's just before I got here. I'll be very honest with you. I was on the bowl, looking at Twitter, and France Football came out with their 10 best or 10 most historic football clubs.
Okay.
Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Bayern Munich. We're okay, right there?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll give you the Liverpool.
Yeah, I gotta give it to them.
6th place Juve. I'll give you that too. Then it starts.
Wait a minute, expect. 10 most historical clubs?
Yeah, that's what
Juventus is on there.
Historical, yeah.
Okay.
Juventus.
Okay, I want to hear the other ones.
Manchester City, PSG, Chelsea, Arsenal. Come on, France
this
football.
This is historical.
No, this is terrible. This is a terrible tweet. I don't know if it's a mistake. I was trying to find it.
Current, I get it. Yeah, okay, current.
Yeah, it's a bit of current form with a bit of history. You're missing... Okay, this is Milan Weekly Podcast. Let's get it out of the way. You're missing the 7-time, let me repeat, 7-time Champions League winner of Milan.
Tied for the most international trophies with Boca Junior.
Let's take that out of the way. Yeah. Okay, we're out of the way. We're taking off our Milan hat.
Okay.
But what about Ajax? What about Benfica? What about Porto?
Or how about the Boca Juniors that have the most international trophies tied?
But I think they were
just
thinking
Europe?
about Europe.
Okay.
You got to do a bit. I get you love PSG. Like everybody gets all aroused about PSG and Manchester City, and Chelsea too. But like, if you're talking history, you cannot go back 10 years.
No, you got to go back.
You got to go back.
Manchester United, you go back, it's historical. Yes, 100%.
Bayern Munich, you go back, it's historical. And this year, these are just teams that are coming to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I do a little bit more research on
Think
some
Ajax.
German
How do you not
teams,
say Ajax in there? Didn't they win 3 Champions League in a row? Even now we're good. Johan Cruyff, like a
I don't know. So
France football.
my indigestion is to France football. You are the people who choose the golden ball. How can you do this? How can you let whoever sent out that tweet or wrote the article? I'm sorry, in my opinion, should be fired.
Maybe it's a como se dice, clickbait. Who knows? Can I give just a little quick indigestion?
Yes.
What was his name? The French striker from Udinese. That his video came out of him with a girl. Did you see that? His video was out, and he's just instead of saying sorry, I don't understand how I got online. I don't understand how I got online. What was his name? Cyril Tero. I think it is
Yeah.
still. And I suppose he was with another player, and there's a woman over there. Instead of going sorry, I think it must have been that iCloud.
Yeah,
Must have been that
iCloud. Just blame it on iCloud.
Feel good brioche moment of the week. Can I speak for both of us, or will you speak for both of us?
No, I'm not speaking for both of us. What's yours?
Well, mine is like Presidente for Paqueta scoring a fantastic goal from that Calabria cross and dedicating to those 10 kids that passed away. The Flamenco youth team that lost 10 players. That was pretty. That was a really good feel moment because it just came at the perfect time and what a goal!
Yeah.
What a fantastic goal! So Presidente, I share that one with you. A good one. How about you, Mr. VP?
Brioche of the week is, I gotta give it to Paqueta as well.
Yeah, you can.
I can't really give something else. It's a really nice gesture, and I really liked it. But
Or how about when when Çalhanoğlu took that shot because they gave him the ball, he hits the goalie, and then who scored the third goal? Wow! At the end, when and you see like they scored 3-0, and Gattuso's still pissed off. He's just going from whatever he's looking at. You could saw that they really wanted him.
Yeah.
They really wanted him to score.
and just building on the Paqueta there, just Brioche of the week, guys. I'm gonna give it to Milan. Just coming up with a 3-0 win when everybody else won and did their job to keep that fourth spot.
Don't let us down on Saturday. We will see you at any closing comments, Stevie P.
I want to see Milan make a statement against Atalanta. They're hot. Duvan Zapata is hot.
Mm-hmm.
I say we counter it with our own Zapata just to fuck everything up.
I like that.
Cousin against cousin, if they're even cousins.
They've won too many games in a row. They're due for a loss,
Wow.
So, and guys, if you like this kind of format, because Presidente he thinks they're not over.
Yeah.
His presidential points
Also,
are over.
we want to know the people. Are you guys fed up of us making fun of Presidente?
Who in their right mind would be?
Apparently, Presidente thinks that us making fun of the president is a bit. He's using hip 2000 millennial words, stale.
Oh, I think just the fact of that guy answering, I thought Presidente was a mythical figure. That just proves you're over. But I like this, a bit of presidential points correlating to the questions, and maybe one of these days let's take live callers right now.
Live callers.
We'll have the setting with like a radio say a cigarette smoke going all over the place. Some kind of smoke. Guys, on Saturday we'll see you Milan Club Montreal. Ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan!
Ciao.